Have you ever looked at the teenager in your life and wondered, are they just being moody or is there something deeper, something biological going on? What if I told you the answer is so deeply rooted in their biology that it could change how you see everything, from those late nights on their phone to those brutally early school mornings?
Get this. A sleep-deprived teenage brain can be up to 60% more reactive to negative stuff. 60%. Welcome to Sleepedia, a corner of the internet dedicated to the science of sleep and circadian rhythms. Today, we're diving into why sleep isn't a luxury for teens, it is the invisible architect of their entire adult mind.
So yeah, this is the big question we're tackling. It's so easy to just blame teen behavior on attitude, right? But the science is pointing to something completely different. A brain that is literally, biologically, running on empty. Let's dig into the first reason why.
We've all done it. We think that sleeping in on the weekend is the perfect fix for a tough week. But for a teenager, that common habit is actually creating a massive biological disruption. It's a real thing, and it's called social jet lag. And this isn't just about feeling tired, you know? It's a measurable physiological war between what a teen's internal body clock is screaming for and what their school schedule demands.
Just look at this whiplash. During the week, a teen might be barely getting by on a midnight to 6 a.m. schedule. Then the weekend hits and they crash, shifting to something like a 3 a.m. to 2 p.m. schedule. That isn't recovery, it's a complete shock to their system.
I mean, think about the stress this puts on their body. Forcing that massive schedule shift is the biological equivalent of flying from New York to California every Friday night and then flying all the way back on Sunday. It messes with every single clock in their body, from their brain all the way down to their gut.
And that brings us to the next really important point. This whole weekend time travel thing, it's not just happening because of bad habits. It's being amplified by a fundamental, non-negotiable change that's happening deep inside the teenage brain.
So during puberty, the brain goes through what's called a melatonin delay. Melatonin is the hormone that basically floods your brain and says, hey, it's time to sleep now. In teenagers, the release of that hormone is naturally pushed back by 2 to 3 hours. They aren't trying to stay up late. Their brains simply haven't gotten the go-to-sleep memo yet.
Let's put this into perspective. Asking a teenager to go to bed at 10 p.m. is like asking an adult to try and fall asleep at 7 p.m. Their body is still humming along in a state of high alert. Biologically, they are wide awake. So here's the absolute kicker. When we combine that natural melatonin delay with super early school start times, we're doing something truly damaging. We are performing what some scientists call a REMectomy. We are systematically cutting off the final and most critical stage of their sleep.
And this daily REM-ectomy has a seriously high cost. It creates this chronic state of burnout that wreaks havoc on a teen's emotional regulation, their ability to learn, and even their physical health.
The effect on the brain's emotional center is just traumatic. The amygdala, which is basically the brain's emotional gas pedal, goes into total overdrive. In a well-rested brain, it's humming along normally. But when a teen is sleep-deprived, it becomes hyperactive, making them way more reactive to stress and negativity. Researchers describe the state perfectly. It's like trying to navigate life with a gas pedal that's stuck to the floor, that's the hyperactive amygdala, and no brakes, because the logical part of the brain that should control it has been weakened by the lack of REM sleep.
And the cost isn't just emotional, it's cognitive too. It creates this awful, vicious cycle. A teen stays up late studying, they have to wake up way too early, and they chop off that final precious phase of sleep. That lost REM sleep is precisely when the brain is supposed to be integrating new information and making creative connections. They're actually sabotaging the very learning they're staying up for.
Honestly, This is the perfect way to think about it. All that information they crammed in might get them through a test the next morning, but without REM sleep to lock it in, it just leaks out. It never makes it into their long-term memory. Beyond the brain, there is a serious physical price to pay. Sleep deprivation throws hunger hormones completely out of whack. Leptin, the hormone that says, hey, I'm full, plummets. At the same time, ghrelin, the hormone that screams, I'm hungry, just spikes. This is exactly why a tired teen craves high-calorie junk food. Their brain is literally yelling for a quick energy fix. It's a sign their body is in crisis mode. So while a lack of sleep causes all these problems, getting sleep is about so much more than just damage control. It's an incredibly active, constructive process. The best way to think about it is that the brain isn't powering down for the night shift is just coming on, and it's busy building a better, faster mind for the next day.
A huge part of this construction project is a process called synaptic pruning. Okay, so during the day, a teen's brain is like a dense jungle, sprouting thousands of new connections as they learn new things. It's kind of a mess. Deep sleep is the master gardener who comes in at night and carefully prunes away the weaker, unnecessary pathways. This makes space for the strong, important ones to grow and thrive.
And the result of all this gardening is just profound. Without it, the brain stays like that overgrown, noisy garden, cluttered and inefficient. But after a night of deep sleep, that garden is beautifully organized. Thinking is faster, learning is easier, and focus is sharper. This isn't just tidying up, it's the fundamental process that literally sculpts the adolescent brain into a sophisticated, high-functioning adult mind.
So, what does this all mean? Where do we go from here? Well, it means we have to fundamentally shift our perspective. Teen sleep isn't a luxury item. It's not a sign of laziness. It is a non-negotiable medical necessity. So let's just recap the incredibly important job sleep is doing every night. It's their master gardener, creating an efficient, powerful brain. It's their emotional mechanic, fixing the brakes on their emotional reactions. And it's their own personal data scientist, making sure that what they learn actually sticks. And this is the ultimate takeaway. Advocating for things like later school start times, respecting their unique biological clock, that isn't coddling them. It is providing essential preventative medicine for their long-term mental, cognitive, and physical health.